I remember when we were strong. The Viridian Outriders, a bold fraternity dedicated to preserving the safety of the needful traveler. Within my lifetime, I have seen us fall so far, replaced by the steel and gold of a king I once called friend. New threats arise, though, and his cutlass and coin may not be enough to save our people. We're still here, though. Less than we were. But we're here, and we'll help where we can. That is my oath.
Hello, and welcome back to Another Path. My name is Chase, and I remain your GM. Today, we venture into the heart of the undercity and begin to unravel what is within. You might notice that this episode is a little shorter than usual, with a good bit of banter as well. That's because the next episode will be our final episode of Season 4 of Another Path. It's going to be a sizable episode, so brace yourself for that in 2 weeks. As a programming note, once that episode is done, we're going to be taking a hiatus through the remainder of the summer and into the early fall, but we will be returning with Season 5, and we hope to see you all there. Thank you to our backers, Janine, Brianna, and Jeremy for their support. If you like what you hear, consider donating to us at patreon.com/ghostlightmedia, and maybe try checking out some of the other shows on the network. And with that, sit back, relax, and enjoy your trip down Another Path.
Gentlemen, I come bearing good news.
Oh.
The good news of the Frenchest game of the year.
Right?
Because Claire Obscure Expedition 33...
Yep.
If this game does not win Game of the Year, I'm going to go ballistic.
Sometimes y'all just say words, and they have no meaning.
What part did I lose you, Justin?
The moment you started saying the title of the game.
That's because it's French.
It is French. Okay, so Griff, you extol, I will translate.
French dev team JRPG, prettiest game of the year, tightest, turn-based combat I've ever had in my entire life. Super well-written characters. It's everything. It's
okay, so
it's
Justin, let me just put this in terms that would make sense to you. It's like Pokemon.
Okay. Okay. I'm on board.
If you got to use up to 4 Pokemans.
You lost me.
I know. Imagine a world where you could use 4 Pokemans. It's still all turn-based, okay? And then instead of getting hit every time, you have to use your dodge function, and you get better at dodging, so you're in sync with your Pokemons. Okay, so you're training with them. Yep. And that's the combat. And you get to kill some big bosses, which is also Pokemon.
True.
Now, imagine, Justin, you know how all of the different Pokemon gens are evocative of different regions of the world?
Yes.
Okay, now take the one that's the most Japanese.
Okay, the first gen and
probably
second
Kanto,
gen.
yeah.
Kanto or Johto.
Cool, now turn it French.
Okay, so Gen 6.
So that's
Gen 6.
yeah, that's Kalos, right?
Exactly.
It's
yes.
Kalos.
Yes. So if they had taken Kanto and turned it into Kalos and then made this game out of it.
You don't turn Kanto into Kalos. Kalos just exists.
You've already got Kalos. Yeah, Kalos is fine.
There is a sort of Pokemon-like mechanic in this game with one of your party members where he can turn into monsters that you fight in the world. And so you have to defeat an enemy and take their feet, and then he can then turn into that monster.
That's just a druid.
There is sort of a catch-em-all mechanic there.
No, I was playing for a rip, and then I got to a jumping puzzle, because for some reason there are jumping puzzles, and I got mad.
There is a getting over it style jumping puzzle in this JRPG.
It is entirely optional.
No.
Did not have to spend half an hour on this getting over it jumping puzzle, and I would have been better if I hadn't.
I want to put my gamer cred out there for a second and did say I did do it. I did make it in 2 attempts.
Okay.
Nice.
Because
I don't think I've reached the jumping puzzle. I am into the first world of Act 2 is where I am right now.
I just hit Act 3.
Now, speaking about the actual game of the year, I beat Star Wars Outlaws.
Oh, how was it?
Okay. The protagonist,
Game of the year. Don't want to hear about any of this other shit. It was aight.
It was fine. It's fun. It's Star Wars. I don't really like the protagonist, and I don't like that you didn't have like choices in how she reacts to people because she just hates everybody.
Oh, that sounds like my kind of game. Yeah, let's just hate everything. Shoot it and hate it.
And like you can't make her like agreeable to anything, and she just hates everybody.
Mm-hmm.
But I bought the DLC, so I had to beat the game so I could play the DLC.
That's how they get you.
Mm-hmm.
Space Pirate Hondo Onaka. I need that.
Now, which faction did you end up going with, Justin?
Well, you don't really
Because there was some
choose
talk.
one.
There was some talk about you wanting to side with the Hutts.
Yeah. Which
Yeah.
they were. I have the highest relationship with the Hutts,
Sure.
but then I'm good with all the other factions as well.
The Hutts,
Okay.
as in like Jabba the.
Yeah, like I've done some work for Jabba the Hutt specifically, and Kay, the protagonist, hates Jabba.
Look, that is a sign of someone who knows what the fuck they're talking about.
That's a good moral compass.
Ryan, there is a Star Wars exhibit at the Institute right now, and so
The Institute.
my coworker Ethan has been forcibly educating me on Star Wars. So
It was going to happen eventually.
there's a
it
Wookiee
makes
in a
me
display
so-
case in the main entrance, and it's not Chewbacca, and it's Buryaga is like a Jedi Padawan. But all the kids will come in and be like, "It's Chewbacca," and Ethan will be like, "It's not Chewbacca." Like, it makes him so upset.
Oh,
Just
boy.
grabbing kids by the collar. It's not Chewbacca.
Wait, you think you're gonna put Chewbacca outside the paywall?
Yeah.
My favorite part of this is that the only way that Griffin was ever going to actually be forced to learn about Star Wars is for work.
Mm-hmm.
That you have a job
Yeah.
that requires you to have a certain level of Star Wars knowledge now.
I know what an X-wing is now.
Ooh.
Right.
Excuse you?
There's a full-sized X-wing model in there, which is why it's relevant. It's like a 40-foot spaceship model.
Damn, that's cool.
Yeah.
You met the main fighter ship of the Resistance?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it kind of sucks.
I'm sorry,
Just-
I need a minute.
So, Griffin,
yeah.
what is the deepest bit of Star Wars lore that you've learned? Giving the audience the context that Griffin
Yeah.
has very proudly never seen any of these films or shows.
It's true. My coworker Ethan has gone into a lot about the different like designations of the different spaceships and whatnot, and I think there's a model up there for what was Vader's TIE fighter, but it's not actually a TIE fighter. Apparently, according like the actual classification is not actually a TIE fighter, but it's listed in there as Darth Vader's TIE fighter, and it makes it makes Ethan upset.
Yeah, he is correct to be upset.
So
It is an
that's
interceptor.
I think that's the deepest piece that I've gotten so far.
An
you go.
X-Wing
That's pretty
blew
good.
up the Death Star twice. And it is far superior to the TIE Fighter.
Oh, okay. No, the TIE Fighter sucks too.
Yeah.
I want to be clear on that.
What do you
I know what Tatooine is now.
How many suns does Tatooine have?
That I don't know. I just said I know what the planet is. I know it's grassy and where the little furry guys live.
Nope.
No?
That's the
Tad,
Force
hold
Moon of
on.
Endor, my friend.
That's Endor. Endor has the little furry guys. Those are the Ewoks.
Oh,
Tatooine is the desert planet.
Beans.
That's okay.
How many suns does it have, Ryan?
2.
Nerd.
I learned what a wampa beast.
Yep.
Yep. One
Yep.
of those is
Yep.
in there.
For
Yep.
sure.
Which planet is that one on?
That is Hoth.
Yes,
Woo.
the ice planet. Good. Great work. Now, this sounds like this is only the original trilogy.
There is some stuff from some of the later films. Like there's some like I know BB-8's in there as a model. There is some stuff from Rogue One. Like one of the last little gallery spreads is costumes from characters in Rogue One.
Rogue One fucking slaps.
Hot take, I don't like Rogue One.
Hot take, Rogue One is my favorite Star Wars.
It's a lot of people's favorite. I don't like it. I also don't like the Andor series.
I need to watch Andor.
They are the least Star Wars feeling of all of the Star Wars media.
Yeah, there's a lack of lightsabers, is my understanding.
Yeah. And that's what I don't like. Like the 10 seconds that Vader's in Rogue One, best part of the movie.
It was real good.
When you go to the place that has space wizards, you want space wizards. I understand that.
Which one's Vader again?
He's the one with the red and black face paint.
Gotcha.
No,
Yeah.
no.
Is he the really little guy?
There's several really little guys. Could you be more specific?
The evil one
Justin is losing his mind.
who like sits in the big chair.
Oh, Snook?
Sure. There's a little guy in the exhibit, and he's
it's
next to a
Yaddle.
big chair. Everyone seems scared by him, and I don't know why. He's very small. I could throw him.
Palpatine?
That's the one.
That's the Emperor. And he's got Force lightning.
Why is he small?
I don't know, man. You tell me. His model's like 4 feet tall.
That's not accurate. That's hilarious, actually.
Is he like a regular sized dude?
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's like an old, like, hunched over, so he's like smaller and a little more frail, but he's not 4 foot.
I might be hyperbolizing a smidge. I don't get the chance to like go into the exhibit that often. But
yeah, he's also next to giant Vader all the time.
yeah, I've learned more about Star Wars than I thought I ever would.
Yeah,
Excellent.
and you can forget it shortly because that exhibit's only on offer for a little bit.
Yeah, a couple more months.
Couple more months. I did hear about your brush with fame.
I did get to have a brush with the McElroys again. This was a much more tame encounter because it was just Justin McElroy who came up to the box office. But I recognized him and I was like, "Hey, you're Justin McElroy." And he was like, "Yeah, you're Griffin. I read it on your name tag." And
That's pretty good.
that was about the entire exchange.
So I was down in Columbus the same time because I went to the Mo Bim Bam live show with friends of the show, Sam and Kaylin.
I can't get over the fact that though of how tall Griffin McElroy is. It fucks with my head.
Is he tall?
He's tall. He's my height or taller. He's not quite a Zach Robb, but like he's like a solid
No one
probably
is.
6'1".
Okay.
More of an Austin Packard, you know?
Fair.
We're just name dropping all of the people that we know.
Listen, I have 2 tall friends, and it's them too.
He's not
Also, podcast famous Austin Packard.
Yes, of Charm Scene fame. Taking the Chicago improvised musical racket by storm.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Very
too.
good at it.
Yeah. Upsettingly so, like many things that Austin is. Austin will decide to do a thing that he's never done before in his entire life, and he'll ace it first time, and then you'll go, "God damn it,
It's the worst.
you motherfucker."
I have the 7-year-old version of that. Justin, do you understand Obscura French RPGs now?
Oh, absolutely not.
Great.
Phenomenal.
Good talk. Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go. Hey, Chase.
Yeah.
You got to tell us before it's the last one, right?
Depending on how late we go and how quickly things progress, this very well might be the last one. For real this time.
Okay.
For real this time. Okay.
All right.
All right.
You stand outside the central structure of the Undercity. You've been calling it a tower this whole time, but now that you're here, you see that the base consists of an entire compound, with the tower structure at the center. You find yourselves at the outside walls. They're about 2 stories tall. There's a massive gated door sitting just barely ajar in front of you. What do you do?
All right. Well, you both ready?
Suppose so.
1 second. Vivios.
Oh, there's my big boy. I go and I give Crunchwrap. I whoosh 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 his face.
What does that sound like?
It sounds like me going whoosh 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 whoosh.
To a snake?
Yes.
That is way bigger than you?
Yes.
Love
Listen,
it.
my other magical friend is also a reptile, so this kind of checks out.
Noted reptile girl Harper.
Harper had a bearded dragon growing up for sure.
She's a lizard lady.
Yeah. I guess I'm gonna kind of poke. You said there's a big gate, yeah?
Yeah.
I guess I'm gonna poke around on this side of things for like just some kind of mechanism.
The gate is open.
Oh, Never mind. I'd like to find a mechanism to close the gate so we can't advance, please.
Can we open the already open gate?
You may.
I would like to double open it.
Well,
All right. You open it the rest of the way. You find yourself standing in a lavish courtyard. There's a pond and a gazebo off to either side of you. The pond is gross and fetid water, standing still on this stone for gods only know how long. And before you, through a winding trail, there sits a staircase that leads up to a platform where the temple proper sits.
Right. Obviously, we go that way and in. But first, hold up. And I stretch out my hands and touch Harper and Erebin on their shoulders and cast Aid.
love it.
+5 max HP.
I always forget how creepy this place is.
Yes, and it doesn't appear to be getting less creepy. At least this time we're not in the water.
Yeah.
GM, I'm curious about like the growth of plant life down here a bit. I mean, if the pond stinks, that's probably like mold and all sorts of algae and stuff. But if the courtyard's overgrown and everything, that lends itself to be more foliage than we're used to down here. Would that be accurate?
Yes, it's not like traditional plant life. You're not seeing like grass or whatnot. You know, what little that is there that is peeking through the stone is like mushroom and mold and whatnot.
Okay, gotcha.
So
Got
the
it,
deep,
got it.
dark, yucky plants.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Just more prevalent here.
Exactly. You know, this is one of the biggest, like, empty spaces you have seen since coming down here. It looks like, I mean, basically a park for, you know, as much space as there is in this spot.
All right, I would like to do two things. The first
Okay.
thing I do is pull my scarf out of my pocket that Harper charmed to smell like tea. And I would like to wrap that around my face
Sure.
so that I can smell like the tea and not the bad mushrooms.
Mm-hmm.
And then the second thing I would like to do is pick up a rock and throw it in across the space and let it kind of skitter across and see if anything jumps out at us.
Can I get detect magic up as well?
Sure.
I'll take some time to ritually cast that.
Okay. You throw a rock and it skitters across the ground. The sound echoes and reverberates around the immediate space, but nothing seems to be coming out.
This seems a bit obvious.
Yeah, I don't love that. There's usually been like approximations on patrol last couple times
Right.
we've done this.
I was kind of hoping maybe that would get them to come out and we could take care of them here where we have, you know, line of sight.
Some space to move around, yeah.
Yeah.
One
especially
second.
with Ignis.
I'm going to bring Falcor out of the pocket dimension. I would like to fly around with his eyes.
Okay.
Oh yeah, new tricks.
Falcor flies out and go ahead and roll me an investigation check using Falcor stat.
13.
With a 13, you are not seeing any patrols. You were briefed as you were coming down that there weren't many of them left. You know, people have been running some missions down here in your absence, and it seems like a lot of them might have been to clear out what was remaining, and it looks like they've been pretty effective.
Well, it looks pretty clear. But as we know, once we get to the top of the tower, that's when things get real.
Sure. Yes. And if this is the holy place of this place, you know, there's always going to be another fun surprise or two. All right, then. Let's go, I guess.
Onward and upward.
The three of you make your way up the staircase and find yourselves.
It's really like the 7 of us at this point, right?
Yeah, no, you've got look the
3 humans, 2 reptiles.
the Pokemon metaphor does carry. Arriving on the platform, you stand before the central building of the Undercity, a large, rounded structure with a tower rising from the far back. 5 pillars rise from that outer dome supporting the tower. However, as you arrive near the door, you see what you have been expecting to see since you opened that first gate. A green orb sitting on a pedestal with a force field around the main door of the building before you.
Yep. Kinda was expecting that.
Right. Parchment boulder she is to see who has to touch it first.
Sure.
All right. Ready? 1, 2,
Airbend?
3.
While they're doing this, Arabin walks forward and touches the orb.
God damn
Absolutely. Arabin, you lay your hand on the orb and close your eyes, and you hear chanting for you, cheering for you. You've done it. You've protected everybody. You have gotten to the point where not only do you not need the assistance of the penumbra or luck, but you are able to dole out this power yourself. You've harnessed whatever it is, that innate thing that separates you from everybody else you've ever met except for your brother. You've traced it to its source, and you have ascended. And now they chant not for you, but for you. And it feels good. And you know for certain in your heart of hearts that this is entirely within your reach. All you have to do is take it. And you're back.
Okay, that was different.
You seem all right.
It wasn't
You good?
particularly bad, but it felt like a warning, just like the rest of them did.
What did it make you feel? You didn't really change out here.
No, but it felt as though something bad had happened, but I was happy about it.
So the
Interesting.
Schadenfreude orb?
Is it something that you wanted?
I don't know, I guess.
Well, I'm going to ride Ignis up to the orb and reach out and say, for science! And put my hand on the orb.
Harper, the piece of the core sits in your hand, warm and inviting. You turn it over, and in that moment, it becomes a firearm, like the ones carried by the invaders from the south. You turn the firearm over in your hand, and it becomes a small but mighty blade, the kind that bards sing songs about. You turn the blade in your hand, and it becomes an amulet, one that can grant the same powers of the undersigned without any of the drawbacks, as long as you're careful with it. You can do all of this. You know you can do it. You also know that the Outriders would not approve. That is dangerous magic. But you can do it. All you gotta do is take it.
What did you see, Harp?
Yeah, I mean, that wasn't that bad at all. Just kind of gave me some ideas.
Did you feel like a warm feeling?
A little?
Yeah, I did too.
It was really just like some ideas of like the power behind the shards.
Oh.
So like, I don't know if you, Arabin, got this like weird temptation feeling or not, but
It felt exactly the same as when I held one of the shards.
huh.
Can we, for science, check and make sure this worked? And Cecil gestures the two of you, like, to the barrier.
Oh yeah, Ignis, let's ride.
Ignis boops the orb.
Yep.
And
Think.
the two of you are able to walk on through.
Let's go, Crunchwrap.
Crunchwrap moves forward, pauses for a moment, looks at you. Snoop boops the orb. There's a moment of pause, a head tilt, and then swivels after you.
Did it work? Looks like it worked.
Yeah, we're
Okay.
sitting pretty over here.
It worked.
And Cecil will touch the orb also.
Cecil, you find yourself back in the scrolls. Your employees are working. The smell of tea fills the room. Katie and Rosewhite are over in the corner, kibitzing, giggling about something. Customers fill the place with laughter and the sound of quills scratching on paper and reading. Your stole is tucked away in a box with a couple of your journals. Everything is quiet and perfect and warm and safe. Back the way it was about a year ago before all this bullshit started. And it can be yours. You just have to tell a couple people no, and you can have your life back. It's all within your grasp. They wouldn't even judge you that hard for it. All you have to do is take it. And you're back in this fetid cave.
Take a deep breath of the tea scarf.
Mm-hmm.
And takes a step or two backwards.
Yeah, it's a weird one, huh?
What did you see?
Peace is what I saw.
Did it involve the core at all?
No. In fact, in mine, I would say that core is the farthest thing from my mind. Just a good, peaceful day. Shows us what we want.
I guess, yeah. Like, desire?
Desire, maybe. What we want and have to say no to in order to, keep the shard safe and save the world and all of that. Cecil walks forward through the barrier.
All right. 3 of you move into the outer chamber. The green light of the undercity is cut as you enter into a well-windowed room. It's only about 20 feet deep before you meet another, bigger, heavier stone door, banded and chained shut. In the center of the room sits a stone statue, 8 feet tall, cloaked, and faceless. Its hands are raised as if in surrender, revealing a belt with finely carved equipment. To either side sits 2 more statues in different poses, 5 in total. Tucked underneath the central statue, there is, just kind of off to the side, there is a small chest. And that is what you see in the moment.
Anything picking up on my detect magic in the room?
Some magic is coming off of that chest. It looks like there is something magical in there. Very low levels of magic coming off of the statues as well.
Okay.
So we either want to open that chest or very much not open that chest.
Yeah, let me give it the once over.
I think we're here to discover things and get this place working again, and I think that means we have to interact with things.
Probably. Can I check for traps? Good old classic check for traps.
Absolutely, you could check for traps.
Investigation?
Yeah.
That's really good. 25.
No traps.
Cool. Is it locked?
Nope.
I pop the chest.
Oh no.
Mimic? No.
I was waiting for it. We haven't had one.
Look, I will pull a mimic on y'all at some point, but it's not this day.
I was going to ask
No.
if we should break the statues before we open it.
And lose all this valuable history, Airman?
In the chest, you find 5 daggers, all cut from different gemstones. You find an amethyst, ruby, emerald, citrine, and sapphire.
Weird.
So we give the amethyst to Abigail and the emerald to Penny.
No, if you give the amethyst to Abigail, she's just gonna eat it.
Oh, very good. Very good, Justin.
Harper,
Yeah.
how many gems you got there?
5.
You got a yellow one?
Citrine's kind of yellowish, yeah.
Yeah, you got a blue one?
Yeah.
How about a red one?
Yeah.
You got a green
And
one?
green.
Yeah, what's left?
Amethyst, purple.
Well, I guess we got one more orb.
Oh.
Okay. God, I hope it's close. I'd hate to have to trudge back to the
Trek
fucking
somewhere?
tower where we say Bailey.
I might not have explicitly said this. There was one other group that did tangle with an orb. It didn't go super great.
Oh, yeah, you did mention that.
You did
Before we
mention
went down
that.
with
I
Core.
assumed that it was one of the ones that then we went to also.
Gotcha. Not necessarily. You didn't get a whole lot of clarification on that.
What do the different poses on the statues look like?
I'm glad you asked. We have one kneeling on the ground. Its blank face is hidden in its hands. The second one is standing in kind of a cocky pose with like a finger extended and pointing out.
Ooh, so coquettish.
The third one in line is that first one you found that is standing in a position of surrender. The fourth one has its hands open, drawn close as if it is admiring something in its hands that isn't there. And the fifth one has its arms flung wide. Fists are clenched in some kind of like an aggressive pose.
Arabin points at that one and goes, okay, so that one's anger.
All right, Red.
Yep. Hold on. Here, Harper, toss me the rock.
Huh? They're daggers, my man.
You need to read more sports books. Can I have it, please?
I'm going to hand it to you safely.
Okay, thank you. I take the dagger with the red stone and I go over to the big angry statue.
Excellent.
Does it look like it goes in its chest or in its hand or on its belt?
Give me an investigation check.
I was thinking
Sure.
belt, because, like, there was the voice in the sky described some, like a belt of gear.
Investigation, you say?
Mm-hmm.
16.
With a 16, you see that while its hands are clenched, the right hand is slightly open, as if to allow for a dagger to slot in.
Like an action figure with accessories.
Exactly.
Slot it in.
Arabin, cover me.
Arabin looks like he doesn't know what to do and then just puts his hands out.
Okay. And I put the red dagger in the slot for the angry statue.
It slots in, and there is a satisfying click.
Cool.
Okay, so that was what we were supposed to do.
Does slotting one in summon a round of baddies that we need to fight?
It does not.
Okay, well, that's one. 4 to go.
But these statues might be the baddies.
Do you see another way forward, Arabin? I don't. Cecil has now pulled out their notebook and is scribbling furiously.
Yeah. The one that has its, like, hands out, like, holding something in its hands.
Sure.
Makes me think green, like it's admiring something that it likes, like that it's seeing.
Sure.
Something that it wants.
Could also be the one slaying the day away over there.
We also have Fia. This one looks like it's...
Fear makes me think of the middle one with the hands up.
Yeah, that's afraid.
And then blue, the despair one, makes me think of the first one that's like kneeling with like face in hands.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
I think that's 3.
Harper, feed me the rock.
Which one?
Blue.
Now I'm gonna hand it to you safely. It's a knife.
That's just an expression.
Be careful.
Arabin's gonna walk over to the one kneeling and look for where it goes.
Investigation.
Can I offer the help action?
You may. Take it at advantage.
17.
There is a spot before the statue where there is a couple of spots where it clearly, like, there's an indentation there. You wouldn't see it just kind of casually looking at it, but now that you're looking for it, the dagger slots in perfectly.
Okay. I click
So it looks like they are crying over this dagger, and you hear a satisfying click.
And it's good that I had advantage on that because my first roll was a 2.
Oh.
We don't need to break any daggers.
All right. Well, then I'm gonna feed myself the rock and safely pick up the yellow knife and go toward the center statue, the hands up for fear. And I'm gonna try that one.
Investigation.
A million. 23.
This coward does not even draw their blade. It goes right into a sheath on the belt.
Ignis, give me a boost.
And you hear it.
All right, 3 for 3, gentlemen.
I've been ruined by Disney because I thought that fear was purple.
That's fair. That's fair. GM, can I ask a question about these clicks?
Yeah.
Where are the clicks coming from? The individual statues?
Yes.
Okay. Not some secret door that we haven't found yet?
Well, if I told you that, then you would have found the door.
Oh, okay, sure. Yeah, fair. Okay, so there's 2 left. We've got the cocky one, and we've got the one admiring. So what we've got left?
We've got green, which I've written down in my notes as desire, but like it could be. That's not set in stone necessarily.
Desire. I wrote down envy.
Also fair. Something. There's some level of want involved. Yeah.
Yes. So here, I'll put that one in the one that's admiring.
I think so. Yeah, because the other one that's serving cunt doesn't really do it for me.
It's fantasy cunt.
So I heard Katie say that once.
Yes, it does sound like her.
I kind of liked it. It was evocative.
Yeah, it's quite evocative. Harper, could I very safely please have that dagger? Nice. Thank you.
Of course. Here's
Thank
the rock.
you.
All right. Both of you
Cecil
roll
takes
me
it.
investigation checks.
Cecil does a cool trick and flips it 3 times and then places it in. 16.
It takes you a minute to find it because there's no obvious place. The purple one on the one that is standing in the super cocky position, but you find it at the tip of its finger.
Ah, nice.
So it is balancing the
nice,
dagger.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
No, it goes. Nope, it goes. No, I think it. Oh, there's an indent right there. Aha!
And you hear the click, and somewhere in the back of your mind, something from memories long forgotten, Cecil, the word hubris sticks in your head. And Harper, because you literally said it out loud, I will let you know no check required. You put it in its hands. And Griffin, I will let you know that you were 100% on the dot because the exact word I have written is desire.
Nice. Woohoo!
Way to go.
Put it on the board.
Put it on the board.
Ding.
Yes.
We
should stop right now while we're winning.
I would like to save the game.
I'm sorry, you've entered into an unskippable cutscene.
Oh, no.
I thought he was going to say this is a no-save zone, and I was getting ready to start fighting things.
Action not available in combat.
You have solved my dagger puzzle.
Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
The heavy doors open for you to find a long ovular room lined with pews that appear to have been fused to the ground whenever this fractal stone set in. You can see a motif along the top walls of expertly carved humanoid faces emerging from a river, running along the top of the room, each face a unique, loving piece of art. You see that these faces, this river, converges at the back of the hall underneath a vision of a sun with a single massive regal face emerging. It takes you all a moment to notice the movement in the chambers. Approximations. Trapped in this room for the Eminence only knows how long. Let's roll initiative. Thank you for joining us here on Another Path. You can find our website and merch store at anotherpathpodcast.com and our network at ghostlightmedia.net. You can support our efforts by donating at patreon.com/ghostlightmedia or by giving us a rating and review over on Apple Podcasts or whatever podcatcher will let you. You can find us on Blue Sky at anotherpathpodcast.com, Ryan at ralbrecht.bluesky.social, Griffin at griffcold.bluesky.social, and myself at tqloudly.com. You can find Justin on TikTok at JustJustinMichael and myself at tqloudly. We'll be back in 2 weeks with a new episode, and until then, remember that sometimes, if you're very, very lucky, you can spend a whole campaign to set up one puzzle. And you know what? I'm pretty proud of it. That was a fun puzzle. I liked that one. I don't do a lot of puzzles. It was a lot of fun to make. It's a good time. I hope you liked it. This has been a Ghostlight Media production.